Hey guys, this is Phoenix for Shredded Airsoft. Today in our How to HI-CAPA series, we're going to be talking about how to install HI-CAPA nozzles. Now in the Airsoft community, I like to fix lots and lots of HI-CAPAs, and people always ask me, how do you install a nozzle, Phoenix? And I would like to show each and every one of you today how we're going to do that. So first, now that you've got your HI-CAPA out, this is a 4.3 HI-CAPA that I am using today. But let's talk about some of the tools that you're going to be using. First off, you're going to need a set of Allen keys, but the rest we're going to be doing with our hands. Shouldn't have any issues there. So now let's get our HI-CAPA out in front of us. Make sure you have a clean surface and that you're free of distractions so you don't lose any important parts. And let's jump into it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pull back the slide and remove the pin. You're going to push it on the back side and remove the pin and hold it in your hand. We're going to set this to the side, and then the slide will come off in one piece. This install is not going to require anything from your lower receiver, so we're going to set that to the side. Now, for your slide, what we're going to do is we're going to come to the bottom of the slide, and we're going to remove the guide rod. Take your nail and place it inside of the guide rod, on top of the guide rod plug, and then you are going to remove it. Make sure that it's not spring-loaded and doesn't shoot off into the other room. They tend to want to fly off if you do not remove them carefully. Alright, the next thing you're going to be doing, just take your thumb, slide your inner and outer barrel out, set that off to the side, and now we have the core of our slide, the nozzle, blowback unit, and our rear sight. So what you're going to do is now we're going to grab our Allen keys. Make sure that you've got the right size for the job. And you're going to remove your rear sight screw. Now, on a 5.1 HI-CAPA versus a 4.3 HI-CAPA, what you're going to do is you are going to, if you have a 5.1 HI-CAPA, the rear sight is going to have one on top, and then once you've unscrewed that, you can remove the bottom section and you'll be able to access your blowback unit. But on this video, we're using a 4.3 HI-CAPA, so you're going to take your wrench, stick it on top of the rear sight screw, and slowly turn it out. Make sure not to lose that screw. It's pretty tiny if you have a stock HI-CAPA. Now that we've done that, there is one more screw that we're going to have to remove. This is going to be the rear blowback housing screw. You're just going to stick your Allen key right in the bottom and slowly screw it out. Once that's done, you should have a little screw right here, which we're going to set to the side once again. And now you are going to be able to remove this. So oftentimes with our rear sight, it's going to cause a couple of issues. So we're going to have to drop this blowback housing and nozzle out of the bottom. So what you're going to do is if you have a metal slide, if you have a metal slide, you're going to be able to just throw it out of the bottom. But on a plastic slide, you're going to want to pull right here by the base and then push down on the tip of the nozzle. And then once you've done that, you should be able to easily remove your blowback housing with nozzle. There are three main components here. You have nozzle, blowback housing, and then nozzle return spring. So for the sake of this video, we're not going to be replacing the nozzle, but I'm going to show you guys how to slowly put this back together. So first we're going to take our blowback housing, replace the nozzle on the inside. Then we're going to take our nozzle spring, make sure that the coiled up end, if you can see this, the coiled end, this side, is going to be pushing against the back of the nozzle right here. So we're going to lay that in there. So for those of you that have a metal slide, your rear sight is now loose because it has nothing else to hang on to. If you put it all the way on and you push it all the way down, like so, and you go to put your rear sight on, it's not going to fit inside of the slide. You will not be able to get it in. So with that said, what we're going to do is we're going to just remove this blowback housing very quickly. Give it some tugging. It's been a little more difficult than it was the last time. Going to remove our blowback housing, and what we're going to do this time is, while we set this to the side, we're going to take our rear sight and we're going to place it just hovering above the slide, and now we're going to drop in our blowback housing. Make sure make sure that our spring here does not fall out when we are in the middle of placing it on the inside. So make sure that you line it up properly from the top. You're going to slowly and steadily push it inside until it clicks into place if you have a metal slide. And then you should see the rear sight is not moving. And now we're going to replace the screws that we removed earlier. And we're just going to take our Allen key and we are going to screw these back in. I would do the blowback housing screw before doing the rear sight screw so that you can adjust your sights to the proper location before replacing the rear sight screw. Now that we've done that, we can take our Allen keys and we can put those to the side. Won't need them again. And we can slide in our inner and outer barrel, which should still be in one piece. Slide this in together. End off with our guide rod plug and recoil spring. And we are going to put that on the inside of the gun. Now we have our upper slide. We're going to grab our lower receiver, and the rest is reinstalling the slide on the Hi-CAPA, like so. Once you've done that, and if you followed all of the instructions correctly, you should have a brand new nozzle, the perfect install. This has been Phoenix for Shredded Airsoft. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.